Here on the Dave Bike Weekly Coach Show, and Coach, last time we talked, we talked a lot about playing well in some games where you guys kind of fought back but couldn't make the full comeback and get a win. But since then, 2 victories in a row for the Pioneers over Hartford and Stony Brook. Let's talk about that Hartford win really quick. Found yourselves down 20 in the second half. What do you tell your team in that situation, and then how do you execute to make a 20-point comeback?
Well, at one point in the game, I said, fellas, I can't help you. I says, we got to play better. You know what I mean? What can I say? You know, we weren't playing too good. We weren't putting the ball in the basket. And I don't know if they picked that up and decided that it was up to them, you know, and which it ended up being up to them. It wasn't any strategy. They just started playing better. We're fortunate that Hartford didn't even pull away by more as we were cold, but they missed some shots. We got the rebounds, and we scored on those, each trip.
And a lot of the damage was done at the free throw line, which is key really in making that big of a comeback with about 8 minutes left to get the clock stopped and points on the board. But free throw shooting for much of the beginning of the season had been an issue a little bit for you guys. Is that just something that's just repetitive in practice?
Well, I think it starts with wanting to get to the line a little bit, and there's no doubt about it. The guys got to figure out individually what they have to do to make shots. The worst thing about that free throw situation for a while now, the last few years, is we just weren't getting to the line enough. You know, but you're right. We did say to him at one time in the game, hey, we got to try to extend the game and to get to the free throw line and score when there's no, when the clock's not moving. So we've been attacking the basket better the last 2, 3, maybe 4 games. And then fortunately, when we made them too. I mean, the foul line, no matter what level, is very important. And hopefully we can continue to get to the line as much as we are and make them as much as we've been.
And you kind of took that momentum from the Hartford win into the Saturday's game at Stony Brook. Do you feel like that was the case? Because it looked like that was your, kind of the complete game. You put together everything in that one game where you had a lead and then you extended it late, which is what a good team does to put a team away at the end when you have the chance.
Well, now that it happened that way, I say yes, definitely the momentum worked in our favor. We didn't come in overconfident, and we played. That was our best game of the year in the Stony Brook game. Going into that smaller gym, and there was a good crowd. You know what I mean, and definitely in their favor. We had a few fans, but not too many. And we played well, and like I said, the guys executed as a team.
And Shane Gibson really kind of had a little bit of a breakout game offensively on Saturday, where the points have been there all year, but was more efficient on Saturday. Didn't take him as many shots to get there.
Well, like in the first half, the Stony Brook had the lead. We're lucky Evan made that 3 at the buzzer, or 2 seconds left to bring us within 1. But in the first half, Stony Brook's shooter had 15 points. And I forget what Shane had, but in the second half it turned it around, and the kid actually made a 3 at the end for Stony Brook, only finished with 18, and Shane came to life, and we definitely need him to make points, and we're counting on him to make some more.
And you've talked about all year the keys on this team are really going to be rooted defensively and becoming a good defensive basketball team. Give us your kind of report card or your status update on where the team's at defensively so far this year.
Well, there's no doubt that the effort has been more consistent than it was. If again, we go back to last year, I guess, and that's our measuring stick right now. Eventually, a couple more games, we're going to have to measure it against ourselves, So I say overall in practice and in the games, the effort has been there. Steve Peichel, the coach of Stony Brook, good friends with Anthony Latina, he just thought that we just played harder than his team. That's what he said, and that's a nice compliment. So, and that's part of the defense is really working. Offense, sometimes you want to be smart, you got to work without the ball and stuff like that, but defense is really, it's a blue-collar situation. I think that some of the guys have embraced it.
Now, you guys had about a week off here for exams. You're going to go to Yale and Providence before the holiday. Any concerns with the time off here, having those two-game winning streak going in, maybe losing a little momentum? Well,
the exams are exams, and the guys feel that. And as a matter of fact, before the last 2 practices, I told them before we started, I said, listen, if you think you need to study, if you have something coming up and you're not going to give a good solid 2 hours here, then go study. But if you can get away from it now and use this, as away from that situation, and play your butts off, So, but back to I'll tell you after Sunday if this little break helps us or hurts us.
Right. What do you expect to see from the Yale team? They've got some decent wins this year on their record, and then Providence next Tuesday. What can you expect from those two teams?
Well, again, more than the assistants look into that more than I do, and I'm still, like I said, we're still new in a young team, and still concentrating on us, and still playing either with the game or against the game. So it's only Thursday, I guess, and we play Sunday, so I haven't given Yale too much look. I mean, I'm concerned about how we should improve.
Very good, Coach. All right, we'll catch up with you again next week. Good luck in these two games coming up.
Okay, thanks, Bill.